Greetings, cyberspace cadets. It's IRATE Prostate here. Another wonderful hot takes on Netflix with the big fat Brian. Say hello, my friend.
What up, fam?
That's right. We've been hanging out this week. Greetings, cyberspace cadets. And of course, once again, another wonderful hot takes on Netflix with the big fat Brian. Say hello, my friend. And I know that's so, I fucked that up again. God damn it. I knew, man. I knew nothing, man. It's cool. I want to say hey to Death Firukin and Waifu Hunter. Greetings.
What up, Waifu Hunter and Death Firukin?
Yeah, man. We was having audio problems. We didn't think this thing would get off the fucking runway. So we're now flying at 40,000 feet and looking good.
Yep. That's because you got the expert engineer here.
Blue skies ahead. No shit. It ain't me. God damn. Oh, fucking! I trained on radio in college and shit, man. That's just fucking disgustingly disgusting. Anyway, so I talked to Brian before the thing. We're doing last week, so we decided that this week we were going to do Day of the Dead, Bloodline, because we didn't want everybody to have to digest the Lost in Space series and too fast. So we'll be doing that one next week, and then the week after we're going to do this movie called Berserk. So everybody,
it's actually it's on Netflix. Berserk is a 3-part series. It's like 3 sort of mini movies.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Well, that's even better. And so we've got plenty of time to get everything in order for the next couple of shows. So and also the audio. So man, that's a plus too. I really want to thank Brian for helping me with that. And I was talking to Brian beforehand, and before we get going on anything, I wanted to just talk for a little bit about. In 1968, I was a very small child. I was very little. And we were in California. Speak of Californians and stuff like you,
right,
Brian. We were in California to see my aunt and uncle, and everybody decided to go to the drive-in to see this movie. It turned out it was the initial release of Night of the Living Dead in Los Angeles. And I was maybe 4 or 5. Somewhere between 4, 5, or 6, right? That movie scared the shit out of me. I could not sleep for 2 days. And, so it made a huge impression on me at that age, right? And then as I got older, I kept going back to this movie, this original, really like an icon, setting. I mean, it created a whole genre movie.
It did, really. It did.
And then in I think it was 77, I want to say 76 or 77, 78, somewhere around in there. Dawn of the Dead came out, and of course, I was first in line. Worshipped Tom Savini for his ability with makeup and stuff. And then in the mid 80s, I think it was 85 when when the original Day of the Dead came out. And and it was a perfect fit for the trilogy. I thought it was a little overproduced, to be honest, and I thought that it was getting a little preachy by that time. There was a lot of subtext. People were picking up on about AIDS and things like that, and in the government. So so come full circle, all right, and it's 2018. Years have gone by. We've got one of the main programs on television right now is about a zombie Holocaust type dystopian future. Based on this whole template that was created way back in 1968. And we're going to make a declaration after this show is over, okay? And then we're going to stretch out and we're going to do a declaration in what I call a whipped cream. So stick around and make sure you stick around for the whipped cream. That's going to follow this. It'll take us a minute or two to pop it back up. So, but for this next hour or so, we're going to be talking about the remake, or the reimagining of Day of the Dead, which they're going by Day of the Dead Bloodline. And so, Brian, you want to give us a? I'm going to run this. I'm going to start the slideshow behind us, and it's just going to. I didn't put a gajillion slides on this one. I put enough that we should be able to go through everything. And so if you want, do you want a basic storyline, because there's not much of that going on here. The storyline is that in the beginning of the movie, there's a girl who is a medical student. It doesn't really specify what kind of medical student. Well,
other than
there's a scene where she goes into a room and it says epidemiology, right? And that's the only clue that you get that maybe she's an epidemiology major. And that's right at the very beginning of the film. Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to make sure that people get that, because that's the only glimpse you get of that shit. Is that one little brief scene. It's brief.
Well, but I mean, even then, that doesn't mean that she's specifically an epidemiologist. I mean... Yeah,
exactly. They left it vague. Go for it. Keep talking. I like where you're going, my boy.
So basically, there's a dead guy who they don't really explain how he died. They don't really explain, other than influenza. It's the flu,
right?
And they don't really go into too much detail about that. And then they do this weird scene where this creepy older 45-year-old, clearly somewhat,
looks like an ex-con to me, man.
He looked gay to me,
Oh, okay, all right.
Like,
I was like, I don't know if I picked up on that, but
I was like, that guy's gotta be gay, because he's in like, there he is on the screen. He's look at his skin. His skin is too well taken care of. I dig. He's in too much of good body shape. That's.
Yeah, and the girl's name is Zoe, obviously, because you're going to see in a second that his arm he's got Zoe carved in his arm. And it is very calligraphic, to use a word there. So you might be right. It had a little feminine flair to the way he had written it. So
but like Adrian Blum says in the chat there, Day of the Dead Bloodlines is a B movie, and that is the perv zombie. He basically, he carves Zoe into his arm, and she gets all creeped out after drawing his blood. First of all, I'm wondering where the security is. If you're having random people in here to draw blood, there's usually security of some sort. There's campus security if you're at a college. There's a lot of things that just aren't in this movie that don't, like it's sort of like the 5-year-old drawing version of what you would think of like a medical school or a college, like what they would think is there.
Yeah, man.
There's not a lot of continuity. They're having a party, and they've got some of the kegs in the morgue freezer.
Yeah, they're more like those milk kegs instead of like beer kegs.
They're pony kegs.
Oh, really? So they are. Yeah. There are beer kegs that look like that.
Yeah, they're 5-gallon pony kegs. That's what I ferment into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. Well, thank you. Thanks for clarifying that, because I was saying, man, that doesn't look like beer to me, man. I'm into those big ones that you have to that you really need a fucking
pair
of trucks.
The 15 gallons.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that so Adrian Blum in the chat there says low budget fluff horror film. So last night, well, because I actually watched this twice. The first time I watched it, I watched the beginning, passed out for like 90% of the movie, and the very end. That's it. That's all I saw. And I don't believe that I missed anything. But the second time I saw it was last night at like 3 a.m. with I was hanging out with Geek and a couple other people in IRATE, and we watched it. And it's when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this is a really low budget, crappy film. And I guess in comparison with some other films, it is low budget, but the budget for this film was $8 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
$8 million. Where did they put it? Where did the money go?
Well, you know, and what Romero did, here's what he did, all right? He did not spend the majority of his budget in his second and third. Everything he did after the first movie went into the makeup, right, in visual effects. Right. Tom Savini, and then Gregory Nicotero later on. So that's what the master would do. But I don't know what they must have spent it on blow or something. It's like a,
yeah, seriously.
I mean, because you don't know where that money went. The actors aren't recognizable. The effects are, well, at best.
Whoa. These actors are clearly the greatest actors of the Shannara Chronicles.
That's it. That's where one of them is from. Yeah, that guy.
No.
Shit.
There's two of them. Two of them are from the Shannara Chronicles.
Oh, really, man?
Yeah. The main girl and the sexy dude that she's trying to...
Yeah, with the hair and shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty boy. Yeah, here's what I've got written on my whiteboard, and this literally may be of what was written on the board that got this movie made. All right. So we got fast zombies, rotters. We got Day of the Dead, but we're gonna redo it. But we're gonna make it like sexy people, fast zombies, maybe even a sentient zombie who's a rapist, possible cure. Little girl, this is genius. This is innovative. This is pure action. This is one of the greatest horror films ever made. And you're in the wildest, horriblest, worst dreams you're ever gonna have, man. This is a piece of shit. You're being way too kind to this movie, man.
Well, I was just trying to give it some storylines so that people knew what we were talking about.
Well, yeah, and we'll keep on going with the story. Okay, so the deal is that so the zombie thing breaks out, and she's I guess she's the last doctor alive, right? So she's looking for a cure because there's this little girl who's obviously gonna turn, because you got to have the little girl to pull on the heartstrings. I mean, this is like Trope City, man. They just, it's like they just went on autopilot with all this shit with the writers, man. Yeah, I mean, I really do think they blew this. I think they blew it all on coke. Now that I'm thinking about it, because the writing, the dialogue was horrible. The story was just, I mean, it was like, all right, hold on. It was like if you combined Z Nation and The Walking Dead, it was a really good episode of that, right?
But Z Nation, right? Z Nation knows what it is. They understand that it's a comedy, that they're not really too serious about the whole zombie thing. They're just they're having fun with it.
Well, yes. And that's what I had written down right here is like, what if Z Nation was serious and Murphy was a racist?
Yes, there you go.
That's exactly not a racist, a rapist.
Right? A rapist, yeah,
right,
rapist,
exactly. Because the dude tries to rape the girl, and then as a zombie, he still wants to tap that shit. And he's kind of like Murphy in the Z Nation, where he can talk. And he's got a little more control over himself. Remember in the original movie, Bub, see, I watched that like the day before yesterday. I watched the original Day of the Dead. And you know, it's really wonderful what you can tell just a really good filmmaker. In the first 10 minutes, right, you see an empty part of town. You see a bank with the door open, and there's a gator in the open doorway just sitting there, right? And then you see all this money flying around, you know, and then it has a newspaper, you know, outbreak of the dead are walking, you know, and that's in the first 10 minutes of the movie. You know, and without saying one word. Without a word, he's told us everything. You know, you know exactly what's going on, and they couldn't do that. You know, if they fucking somebody just mapped it out for them.
So so there was a nod to Romero in this, right? In the very beginning of the movie, and in every subsequent scene where there's like a bite or blood or whatever, right?
Right.
Specifically where they drag that guy in the beginning down into the subway, right?
Right.
And the blood shoots out of the subway. It shoots out like a fucking like a
Japanese movie.
Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like everywhere, literally everywhere. Like what do? They pull him into a fucking meat grinder or something? What is this?
Well, you know, and what I thought, you know, here's what I thought when I saw the crew, the film crew and shit. I thought about the movie REC, R-E-C, you know, for record is it Colombian or Spanish? It's either Colombian or Spanish movie, man. That's one of the best horror movies ever made. And clearly this director, who's got a Spanish name and is known for a series and one movie in Spanish. You know, from the country of Spain. You know, clearly this guy's his hero, in my opinion. The person that did REC. So, and from then on, you know, the movie is just it's predictable. You know, so the cure, the equipment, the shit they need for the cure, of course, is back at the place where she was, and where, you know, that creepy dude got bit, and he rides the bottom of he gets under one of the Humvees and attaches himself to the bottom, like, you know, like he's in fucking Mission Impossible or some shit, right?
Look, I'm sorry, Taylor Swift. I got to stop you there, because basically they fast forward 5 years in time, and I'm like, 5 years? After 5 years, all of these decaying, dying zombies, they'd be gone.
Yep.
They'd be dead, especially if this is a viral influenza type of fast zombie, you know, where everyone's getting infected and decaying, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, see, even in the first Day of the Dead, man, he shows a skeleton. Just a non-moving skeleton with all these cockroaches all over it, palmetto bugs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, exactly. So keep going, man.
5 years is a bit too long to have a completely fresh fucking zombie that has been jerking it in a corner somewhere to this woman for 5 fucking years. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, in the same place. Like, all right, he's smart enough to talk. He's smart enough to ride on the bottom of a fucking Humvee, but he's not smart enough to get out of the fucking university.
Right? What the fuck?
It's crazy.
It's so ridiculous.
There's so many questions, man. It's like, holy shit, man. They keep making these problems.
Why does his mouth look like a chat butthole? What is that? Why are his teeth so big?
Why does he have Steve Shive's mouth?
Right? Yeah, what's going on here?
Oh shit!
Oh,
yeah, and then that fucking Joker fucking thing, man. It's like, why? What was that about? You know, that one scene where he does the Joker face with the grin, and I'm like, why? I just really don't fucking get it.
Well, and you know how he's got Zoe carved into his arm, right?
Right.
I love how the Z has like detail, like it's it's got that little wavy tail on the end, like he did it with love. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Nobody carves like that in their skin. I'm sorry,
and it doesn't look that good either. It doesn't look that clean.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No,
that skin's pretty thin right there, and it'll, you'll be exposing some meat and shit, But man, now that you said it, I can see the fucking Shannara people in it, man. So it's not like they're like trying to appeal to a certain demographic or anything, is it?
And where this was either filmed in, I think it was Bolivia. Was it filmed in?
Yeah, the guy's Spanish, so I don't know, man.
No. I'm pretty sure it was. I'll pull the IMDb.
All right, yeah. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me wherever they filmed it. Because you can tell at the end it looks like South America. My brain said that, it's like, yeah, South America, it's gotta be. And so they capture the dude, and he clearly won't bite the chick, right? Because he wants her to succumb to his will or whatever, like she's gonna fuck a dead man,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because if she would have done it, that would have been the reason she got into med school, and he wouldn't have been her first one, and she would have got it on with him. That's what my brain says. So
yeah, I don't know.
Crickets. Yeah, right.
Pretty much. I mean, like, so he's thinking, but he doesn't understand that she's not going to have sex with this weird cold dead body, which I mean, I don't know if you know a lot about circulation, but that skin doesn't look like it's getting great circulation, which means that other things are not getting great circulation.
You're not going to get it right. No tumescence.
No, nothing's going on there. The other thing, when I was watching it with that group of people, we did notice that basically this movie is full of Chads. Like, every dude in this movie is a straight up Chad, yoked Chad that lifts weights in the corner.
Great haircut.
Yeah, Chad haircuts and everything. They're all assholes.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, why does everyone here lift, bro? Like,
no doubt. You see, in the original movie, there were these two guys that were brothers, right? And the military had gone into complete meltdown. So it was like a ragtag group of what was left of the military in Miami, I think, is where the movie takes place, right? And so two of the soldiers were brothers. So there was a dynamic there that they were trying to reproduce, but it didn't work because they didn't say that these two dudes were brothers. And that might have ended up on the cutting room floor, but that would have been real helpful as to add to the tension, between the Chad with the buzz cut and the Chad, with the Jim Morrison hair.
Oh no, they stated they were brothers.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. And then even at the end there where
I missed that.
Where they're going over the like when they're fighting and he points the gun at him, he's like, "You're gonna shoot your own brother."
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
And I'm just like, this is like, first of all, you guys would think that they would have learned it doesn't pay to be a Chad in this movie because every Chad has died. Every single one, and let's be honest, the gay dude with the gay 45-year-old dude with the thinning hairline there, he clearly is the most Chad of all the Chads because he's dead and he's still forcing himself on a woman. Like, come on now.
That's pretty pathetic.
It is. It's really pathetic. I don't know. It's. So when you judge this movie, you sort of got to judge it off the fact that you already know it's going to be bad when you show up, right? Like, you can't just say, "Oh, I was expecting Casablanca" when you show up to watch a movie like this.
Right. It's not a think piece, as they would say.
Exactly. So
and it doesn't even do like you know what, you know, a good Romero movie does, and he gets you to, like, you know, look at there's always some kind of subtext, you know, in you know, it's all like a metaphor, you know, like, you know, the first one was about racism, clearly, the second one was about consumerism, and in the third one was, you know, about the AIDS epidemic and stuff, you know, so at that point, you know, it was rampant, and, you know, and the race to find a cure for that. But, you know, what really stuck in my head was at the very end of this movie, it was almost like an ad for, like, some kind of drug that cures AIDS or something. For some reason, it was like my brain, when I was watching it, my mind went, what the fuck? Because the way she was talking, it just sounded like a commercial, and I really didn't get that. I really didn't understand that whole Pollyanna weirdness to that ending. Oh yeah. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say, it was real. It just looked too fabricated and fake. It looked fake as fuck.
Yeah, it really looked like a Valtrex commercial where they were trying to sell you something to get rid of your herpes at the end. Exactly.
Yeah. And the words that they were using, you know, it was like, God, it was so weird.
We can see clearly over the hills now. It's so,
and the children are all playing, and
it's a brighter day.
It is.
You don't have to worry about blisters on your lips anymore.
That's right. and if you get one, we've got exactly what you need.
We have a vaccination for that. You won't catch dead anymore.
You won't catch that dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Well, go ahead.
I wasn't really going to say anything.
You weren't?
Yeah, no, not really. Sure? No. I was just making weird guttural noises.
So she ends up coming up with the cure, you know, obviously, because, you know, she does this thing with the cells, and we get to see finally that the cells, you know, don't turn when she adds the zombie blood to it.
Those don't look like blood cells.
They're not. You know,
right?
It's like, maybe that's what they spent the money on, was some kind of weird CGI for that shit.
No, this is just a slide that they found on the internet somewhere.
Oh shit! It is pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just the way it's just all. It's like.
Do you know what the box office is on this? What it made?
Did they actually release this? And you're fucking kidding me.
I don't know. It looks like it was released in Bulgaria, which is where it was filmed.
Probably around Halloween, maybe.
Maybe. Let me go back to that. I think it was released in Italy as well.
Italy. Yeah, the Italians, they're still going for them zombie movies, man. They will not give up. Fulci. But that was good. That was a good horror movie. Zombie was a great horror film. Great zombie movie.
Okay. So it was released in the Netherlands, March 2018. Released in Peru, February 15th, 2018. Kuwait, February 1st, 2018. USA, January 5th, 2018. And straight to DVD in Canada, Peru, and Russia.
Right. And then 2 months later, it's on Netflix.
Oh yeah. They saw easy pickings right there.
So what was the box office? The total box office on
that? It was $260,000 out of their $8 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a flop.
That's a tax write-off.
Yeah, right? Like, somebody was like, I got $8 million that I got to pay in taxes. We're going to use it to make a shitty zombie movie. Deal with it. Deducted.
No doubt, man. No doubt. What was that movie, man, with the hockey team? Was it was it the Mighty Ducks, where they were, you know, there was like, we were just a write-off. No, that was the one with the brothers. What is that called? Slapshot? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
Oh, that's a great movie, man. With the three brothers. Yeah, we'll say hey to some people out in the out in the
We
chat.
got the Tim Tarbucks here.
Hey, Tim Tarbox, you know, wrenchless lives matter, and you matter to me, sir. Jacob Navo, hey man, we'll if you want to, you can pop in the waiting room, and we'll pop you in a minute.
Well, anyone who wants to.
Really, actually, exactly. Anybody that wants to, the Discord is open. As a matter of fact, I'll put it in the description because it never works when I put it in the fucking when I put it in the chat. So we're just going to go ahead and surrender and you know, and do what it wants me to.
Yeah, Adrian Blom says the best zombie movie is Shaun of the Dead. I challenge you to a real life duel, sir.
I don't know
because
about
the
that.
best zombie movie is 28 Days Later.
Really?
It really is. It's by far the best zombie movie.
My favorite thing about that is it is so realistic when it comes to that whole thing with the girl and stuff, man. That was one of the best. You know, you may have a point, but really the best is the first. I think Night of the Living Dead is still, you know, stands up as the greatest zombie horror film ever made. But just in the fact that it created the genre.
We should technically split that into two different genres, though, right? Night of the Living Dead is like a satanic, they've risen from the grave zombie movie.
No. That was because of the it was because of a satellite that had some kind of cosmic radiation on it crashes near where it breaks out, right?
Yeah, but
it was like old school sci-fi shit, right?
Yeah. It's still like, oh, well, this caused this and mystical powers, zombies. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But
so you're talking about pathogen oriented.
Yeah. 28 Days Later is totally pathogen,
and they weren't really zombies.
And they die when you because they die when you shoot them in the chest.
Right.
Like they're still people. They're just freaking out and trying to infect you.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's the whole idea behind any kind of virus, anyway, man. It's just that's all it lives is to reproduce. You know, it really has no. It doesn't even really eat. It just,
in 28 Days Later, they don't eat you. They just bite and spit all over you and freak out.
Right, and bodily fluid and shit. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean that one scene when that guy gets it in the eye, man. I was like, holy shit, one drop, and it fucked it. It just took him over.
Yep.
It was like, goddamn, it was excellent. That's a brilliant film. You're absolutely right. And, you know, and I don't understand why nobody ever called out what Robert Kirkman on the fact that he totally ripped that beginning of that movie off with the beginning of the Walking Dead comic.
Yes.
I mean, this is the same fucking beginning. I don't know. We have to do some before I make any accusations out there. I might need to do a little research and see which came first, the chicken.
I guess, but I don't think that waking up in a hospital is too far flung for any zombie movie. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. No, but still, are you fucking with me, man?
No. I see what you're saying. I'm just also saying that I don't really think that.
Right. Yeah, I think
that's something that's too unique, you know?
Right, that it's going to happen to maybe, you know, more than a couple of people.
Exactly.
You know, like comas and shit, because, you know, there are most comas are short term anyway, and a lot of them are you know, induced coma anyway. So, yeah, we get bogging anything down. Just don't bog shit down with facts, for God's sakes. We don't want to be seen as anything official or, you know.
We got JoJo in the waiting room there, and if anyone else would like to hop on as well. Yeah.
I just put the Discord link in the description below. So if you would, it should be usable. So come on in if you want to come in and
also,
talk. Waifu or race. Hey man, Adrian Blom. Hey man. Who else was? Death Haruka. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
I think the way we should rate this probably should should be based off of like the original movie, the original beginning of the genre, right? Being a 10 out of 10 for the genre.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Rather than
all right, we'll rate it. All right, we'll rate it three. We'll give it three ratings. All right, we'll give it the genre rating. All right, we'll give it the movie rating, and we'll give it the what. What other rating would we give it?
Oh, I don't know. You're the one that came up with 3.
For some reason, the brain wants to jump to 3s.
Yeah.
Well, we'll rate it on genre, and then we'll rate it just on as a movie, as a movie, and then as a horror film. How about that?
Yeah, sure, that works.
All right. That way we can get 3 out of it. I got OCD, y'all. Okay.
Is Tim Tarbuck's is the 100 a zombie movie? I thought that was just about people like showing up after being missing or something.
Yeah, it's just a post-apocalyptic type of deal. With the way the 100s, actually it's the 100. And the way that it starts out is that, we nuked ourselves, and we were smart enough to put this space station, or, we fucked the Earth up somehow. And the radiation, so we put a space station up in the sky that could only hold a certain number of people. And so teenagers, if they broke the law or something, they were put in this special thing, and then they wanted to see, I think they had been in the sky for like 80 or 90 years, something like that, and they wanted to see if the radiation had had gone down. So as an experiment, they sent the 100 kids down that were all had been arrested for different things. They were delinquents, blah blah blah. And they sent them down to see if they could survive in the radiation, and then eventually later to bring the rest of the ship down, and they run into these people called grounders and stuff. It's really not that bad of a, as TV shows, as popcorn TV goes, it's not bad, man. It's it's a lot of pretty people, a lot of big titties and shit.
I'm in then.
No nudities, just a bunch of beautiful.
You had me at big titties.
That's right. The main character, she's stacked, man. She's an Aussie girl, built like a short Aussie girl. It's stacked like a fucking brick shit house. You know what I'm saying, man?
Oh, did JoJo DC or something?
Whoa, hold on.
I guess he's not in the waiting room anymore.
Where? Jacob? Where did he go? Well, fucking A, man.
Well, I guess he didn't want to be on the show today. Anyway, so I would say that my favorite part of this movie is the part where the zombie. Oh, there's JoJo. The zombie infiltrates the base, basically, right? Like he's underneath the little rover thing, and he crawls.
I had to make a phone call. That's
okay. Fair enough. And go ahead.
Using Kirkman of stealing.
No, hold on. Let's let Brian finish.
Yeah, let me finish before we get out on this tangent.
All right.
So like him sneaking into this weird, into their base that's supposed to be secure, right? And nobody notices. It's really, it's sort of like, it reminds me of the last movie we reviewed, The Titan, where the wife walks into the NSA base or whatever, and not a single guard sees her, and she pulls secret documents out. It's like, what is this? Who guards these places? But the best part about it is when the little girl that looks like Joffrey from Game of Thrones is running away from the zombie, right? And that guy hears her screaming and running, and he goes around the corner, and then he flips the opposite way for some weird reason, and the gay zombie creeper dude runs up and bites him on the neck, and you're just like, dude, she's running from this direction, she's screaming from this direction, and you put your back to it? What is that? What are you even doing? Like, it's just I don't know. I like bad writing, just bad everything about this movie. I don't know if that makes it so bad that it's good though. So I don't know. Like there's there's sort of a fine line. It wasn't quite what is Soul Plane? You know, Soul Plane was so bad that it was good because you could sit there and laugh at it.
All right, JoJo. So, all right, shoot us the juice, Bruce. Tell us what you thought.
I felt like it was a really bad straight-to-TV Romero movie.
Okay. All right, and yeah, we were talking earlier about, and I said something to the fact that I thought that Kirkman had ripped off the 28 Days Later, and then Brian pointed out that it's not the the way that the movies the both of the movie and the series starts out, it's not that implausible. So I back down from that. So
well, I mean, Kirkman has been accused of stealing a lot of things and reusing stuff.
Yeah, I'm aware of that for sure.
Even with his own stuff, like Image accused him of taking The Walking Dead for his Marvel Zombie series.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he basically did Walking Dead and went to Marvel and said, I would like to do the same thing I did at Image, but with the Marvel heroes.
Actually, I read a couple of those and it wasn't bad.
Except for the 5th book.
I see. I didn't go that far, dude. I went into the first couple of series, and usually, man, the first couple, especially with comics, man, just your best stop at 2. That's what I've learned. Because
the 5th one says at the very end, forget the plot. It's just a comic. Nothing matters.
No doubt. No doubt. So all right. So we're getting ready to rate this thing, Jacob. So we're going to rate it as a zombie genre movie, as a movie, and as a horror movie.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Bless you, sir.
Sneezing attack out of nowhere.
God bless you, Brian.
Quit snorting that fucking chili powder. I mean,
look,
cayenne
no air in here.
Jagan. Anyway, all right. So, all right, as a zombie genre movie, what do you give it?
A 3.0 out of 10.
Okay. All right. As a movie.
A 3.1 out of 10.
Okay. And as a horror film.
A 1.
Okay.
Out of 10.
Fair enough. You got any other things you want to say?
The show that show we were going to talk about watching.
Yeah. The Lost in
Colony.
Space. Lost in Space. Oh, yeah. Colony is something that I may cover on my own.
Next month.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely down for it, man.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, we finally find out what these guys are and what's going on the moon. So,
well, I mean, it would have been obvious that they're aliens.
Don't, not so fast, my friend. I've got a couple of theories that I'll talk about with you when this starts up. Okay. Okay.
Oh, but Krypton is awesome.
Do you like it? I haven't started watching it yet.
The last episode, they bring in a character from the normal comics, and you do not know it's him until they basically put a sign above his head and say who it is.
Well, just don't spoil it for me.
I won't.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, So, if you got any other comments about what we're talking about today?
The movie felt cheap. Like, the right to TV cheap.
Yeah, man, but it had $8 million behind it, dude.
And it felt like a normal Romero movie.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it a drug ad movie. It feels like it's tying into Land of the Dead somehow.
Oh, yeah? I can see that. I actually, to be honest, I can see that with faster zombies. You're right.
Yeah.
And how they're walling in cities.
Yeah. I got to the point that I wasn't really impressed with that movie, to be honest. I thought that all Romero was doing was just phone. I think he phoned that one in.
A little bit.
Yeah. What?
But it's a sad thing he passed away.
Yeah, it is definitely. We lost him this past summer, and so in light of that, I'm going to make a declaration before we close.
Oh, and they
close
put
out.
him in Call of Duty. They put him in a zombies map pack.
Oh, really? They did?
Yeah, it felt, the map felt weird though, because he was a zombie wizard.
Oh, a zizzard?
A zizzard.
Yeah.
A zombard.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wacky. That just that. Yeah, that's strange. So, all right. So you got anything else? You ready for? You gonna be ready?
Golf City Theater is tonight.
Yes. Yeah. All hell blew well.
All hell blew well.
That's right. What are they showing tonight?
I don't know. Not even Sinatra knows.
Oh, not even Sinatra knows?
No. Oh, wait. Did you hear about Aiden?
Yeah.
No, what happened?
We want to keep the drama stuff off of this
Oh yeah,
particular
no
one.
drama.
But I'll tell you about that. They're going to be talking about it on the Worski show.
Oh yeah. No, I don't. Yeah.
But Lost in Space it's awesome. I
No. Shh. Nothing about Lost in Space till next week. Okay.
Not till next week.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to thank Jacob Navo for showing up once again, and I'm going to go ahead and escort you out. Is that okay, Jacob?
Okay.
All right, bro. Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. And okay, Brian. So we got the last 10 minutes. So you want to give your score?
Yeah. Okay. So if I'm rating this as a movie as a whole, compared to all other movies, essentially, right. I would give it a 2 out of 10. It's not good. There's nothing, not even like a funny scene that is memorable that past 10 minutes after this live stream that I'm going to even ever reference ever again.
Right.
Right. I'm just going to go to sleep and I'm going to forget all about this. As a horror movie, still a 2 out of 10. In fact, no. As a horror movie, it's a 0 out of 10 because it doesn't scare you at all. A horror movie is supposed to scare you.
Right.
And as a B film, which is what this is, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because it falls within that category.
All right.
House of the Dead. House of the Dead is my 0 for B films.
Okay, so we're gonna have B films. Okay, will be the 4th score.
Yeah.
All right. So,
sorry. Well, what was the other one that I was supposed to do?
No, genre.
Well, yeah, that's the genre. It's a B film.
Well, I was saying zombie genre.
Oh, my bad. Well, I mean, okay. Well, that sort of is the same thing.
Not necessarily. No.
Yeah, I mean, only good zombie movies make it to A genre, right?
Yeah.
The majority of them are in that B movie genre.
You're right. No, you got a point there. I don't know though. I was just gonna like hold it as like a zombie movie, right? Because
Uzi has a point. Black Mirror is worth checking out. I don't know that we'd want to do a review on like all of the seasons because that is a lot of stuff. But
we could do individual episodes. I'd be down for that in a New York Minute, bro.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
That's hours of deep discussion on a bunch of those. So on every episode, you could do something deep on every episode, in my opinion. But but yeah, the reason I wanted to stick with just a specific zombie movie as being a specific genre is will be obvious in a second. So, and if people don't know, there was a remake of this movie done in 2008, and it featured Ving Rhames, Mina Savari, and Nick Cannon. And that's probably why we didn't even know. I didn't even know this movie existed until I did my research the other day. And I couldn't find it, and I didn't have time to really dig to find it. Go ahead, buddy.
After you mentioned that to me, I looked it up, and I realized I had already seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Was it worse than this one?
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know how you compare the two. It's sort of they're both just terrible. They're both awful.
Right. Yeah. So it's a tie for last. Basically,
yeah,
is what you're
pretty
saying.
much. Yeah. They're like, if I was to say one was better, it'd be like The Tallest Midget.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. All right. So, all right, I'm gonna weigh in. This is a pure piece of shit. As a movie. All right, as a film, I give it. If you're bored, and it's the it's the only DVD in the house, I guess you can watch it and get through it, and finish it out. If you're homesick and that's the only thing that there is, it'll probably be a perfect film to get you in the sleeping mood. But as a movie, I am going to give this thing a 0.7. Okay, because it would have to not exist to be a 0. So I'm barely acknowledging it as a movie. All right, as a horror film, oh my God, I'll have to give it a 1. I mean, all right, just it's a horror film. Okay, they call it a horror film, so it's a horror film. And then as a B movie, it's definitely, as a B movie, it's a 3. Okay, I'm giving a B movie a 3. All right, it's a 3B movie. But as a zombie genre movie, it's a 2. Okay. And with this film, I'm going to make a declaration. Okay, and you can argue with me whether you want to or not. Argue that the zombie genre is dead. I believe that genre, given the Walking Dead, the permeation of society with zombie films, it's been overdone. It's been, I think that lemon is squoze, and we're not going to get any more lemonade out of it. I think that this movie trumpets the death of the zombie film. George Romero passed away this summer, and I'm going to say with him and his spirit, the zombie genre is dead too. And I wish I could get Hollywood to quit making zombie movies for maybe 20 years, and then find somebody that's got a modicum of talent and maybe throw an idea in their lap. But that's my declaration. That's the one I was telling you. I think the genre is dead, and this is proof.
I agree with you. I really would like to see more like a mass pandemic movie where they do it really well and it becomes post-apocalyptic, but not based on zombies or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like The Road. The Road was a really good movie.
Right. That's a great movie.
Yeah, something like
The
that.
Rover,
would be,
man. That's a movie we could do. Have you seen that?
I have not seen it. No.
Okay. I'll tell you about it later. But yeah, that's a great movie. Post-apocalyptic. It's not no zombies in it. It's just.
So, yeah. Next week we have we're doing
Lost in Space. That's what I got.
Lost in Space
on the
right?
board. Yeah.
And then the week after that we're doing Berserk.
Berserk, my friend.
So hold on, let me pop that up because that would be 26th. That would be the 3rd. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
The 3rd is when we're doing Berserk.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, so any final thoughts from the group that's in the chat? The 13 that are watching? Let's see what we got. Adrian Blonde says the movie was 58 minutes. It would be okay. Yeah. It would be an episode of Z Nation and Walking Dead put together. It would. You're absolutely right. It would be actually a semi decent episode of that put together.
I think they should have picked a hotter chick as the main chick if she's going to save society and everything. Well, like this one, she had like they tried to make her look sexy, and then she took her shirt off, and it's like, wait, what?
No hips, no hips, dude.
No hips, no
what happened to hips
boobs?
on women? That is a question I have, man. It's like all these chicks, they don't have hips, and they barely have asses.
That's the other thing. So if somebody, like, I know somebody's probably going to say something about me talking about specifically women, but the men in this movie actually have sex appeal. Like, if you look at what's going on in here, they have men that literally every dude is a Chad. They're all yoked.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one guy. That one dude with the hair, he is a twink, man.
Obviously that guy. But I'm talking about like the guy with the long hair and the black dude that's like straight up. He looks like he's weightlifting when you first meet him.
Man, I wanted to see more of him, man, to be honest.
He looked like a badass. Yeah, he did. But
you're right.
They've got all, like, there he is in the frame, but all the men were rapey. That's a little true. But in times of desperation, I guess, what are you going to expect? But the women, like, why is this square body 10-year-old the hot one? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why did they pick her? Yeah. I would expect somebody like Christina Hendricks. You know what I mean? Like, I could see a bunch of dudes fighting over that.
How about the chick from fucking Altered Carbon?
Definitely.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Man, she was sexy as hell. And had a body, had a woman's body, So, yeah, you're absolutely right there. There's Twinkle Toes right there. I'm looking at them right now. But, so, Bubba, we're right at the top of the hour. I'm going to talk to Brian, but keep an eye out for the whipped cream. I've got a new template I want to share with everybody. I think it's going to be fun. But on that note, this is another episode of Hot Takes on Netflix with Big Fat Brian. We're going to say I'm outie. How about you, Brian?
Thug life, fam, BFB out.